Howdy!
Howdy! What a swinging opening that was to the show.
Go on!
It's great to have you here, really.
Thank you, David. It's a pleasure to be here.
How do your friends see you now, in fact? I mean, do you ever get back to Silicaga? Am I pronouncing it right?
That's right, Silicaga.
Yes. The population now is about what?
Well, it's a pretty good sized place now. It's about 15,000, I guess.
15,000?
Yeah.
It's getting big.
It wasn't too big when I was growing up there, though. I was only about 3,000.
Just about 3,000.
Yes, but they've come a long way.
They've come a long way. Did everybody know everybody in those days?
Just about it. I think we knew just about everybody in town.
What did your father do?
Well, Daddy worked on the railroad for a while, and then he used to deliver freight too. And we had, but most everybody, you know, had their own livestock. We had chickens and all that. We raised our own food.
We've got a how old were you when that picture was taken?
Good Lord mercy.
Isn't that? Come on, louder.
I think had to be 3.
3 years old when that charming local study of Silicaga Park bench was taken.
I didn't know you was going to show all these things.
That's part of the fun of it, isn't it?
Oh, it's fun.
But growing up, your father was, you were milking and your father was working on the railroad. How, did you have any idea then of you were going to end up in show business? I mean, did you do any singing, for instance, or comedy when you were small?
Well, they always thought I was kind of crazy, but that around the house, you know, because I was always carrying on. As a child, I grew up with asthma, and it curtailed quite a lot of my activities. And then I couldn't run or play baseball or football or anything like that because I'd always have an attack of asthma. And so I used to go to a lot of movies, and that was the way I could, you know, and I guess that's where I started kind of getting the idea about show business and things like that.
When did you set out for fame and fortune then to get across to Hollywood?
Well, I never did really set out for fame and fortune. I really didn't ever think I'd make it.
Really?
No. I always hoped, you know, it was kind of a dream in the back of my mind, but as far as really making it, I never really thought I would. Mainly because I used to work at this nightclub, and everybody that sang there sang better than I did. And I wasn't a stand-up comic, you know, because they had comics there, and they were very good, and I wasn't that funny. And
where was this, the Horn?
Yes, Santa Monica.
In Santa Monica?
Yeah, and so I have to shave every morning, so I knew I wasn't a leading man, and so I really never did think I'd make it.
What did you do at the Horn? What was your act?
I didn't really have an act, and it didn't make any sense. I'd sing and then talk like this, you know, people didn't know what I did.
Did you have routines or what sort of songs?
I had some routines that I did, like where I would sing kind of an opera kind of thing, and I was supposed to break a glass, you know, like these commercials. You know, so I was singing this aria. Funny thing happened one night. We had a new bartender in the place, and he knew he was supposed to crash on this when I hit the high note.
Oh, you had it all arranged, so when you hit the high note, the guy broke the glass.
Well, changed bartenders one night, and he had a Coca-Cola bottle, and he couldn't bust it, and he just kept beating on that thing. It sounded like the animal chorus. And I was holding the high note, and nothing ever happened.
How did you get from the Horn to Gomer Pyle? What was the journey that you made to get from one to the other?
Andy Griffith saw me at the Horn once, and so he had me read for his television show, the Andy Griffith Show, and the part was Gomer Pyle, and I had never acted, you know, before.
Never acted?
No, and I read for the part and got it, and it was just supposed to be a one-shot deal, and so the Andy and the producer Aaron Rubin, they liked me, so they started writing more little parts in for me, and so then I was suddenly offered several television series. After about 3 of those, I was very surprised. I thought they were putting me on.
Did you read Gomer Pyle the way we see you play him
Right.
the very first time?
Right. That was the way I thought he'd be.
How did you settle on it, exactly the voice?
Well, actually, they thought the voice was a little exaggerated, and they said it wasn't too believable.
Was it based on anybody? Had you?
No, it was kind of a combination of a lot of people, I guess.
Give us one sentence of it. Can you just?
Hey, Sergeant. Something like that.
Based on several different people.
Yeah, right.
And that was the best. We've got some outtakes from Gomer Pyle here.
Oh.
And the first one's of you being
Well,
shaved.
Well, this film was actually on television. It was when I had gone down to the Marine. We really shot this at the Marine base, and the barber is really a Marine. I mean, it was a Marine barber, and that's what you're fixing to see now. It's my first shot of Gomer Pyle in the Marine Corps.
First shot of Gomer Pyle. This historic footage coming up right now.
Make a little rabbit ditch up front, and then you comb it wet, okay? Well, it ain't exactly like Florence Barber back home would have done it, but after all, it's just your first time.
Have you ever had your head shaved?
Never.
Oh, that's an experience.
I don't know whether you could hear it at home. I know some of the people in the audience did, but you were really going through the agony all over again as you watched that.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
Does it hurt?
Well, you never know how you're going to be bald-headed, you know, and there are all kinds of knocks on your head, you know, that you never knew you ever had. And it sure does something for your ego.
But you decided not to keep a Yul-Brynner.
No, I was reading I let it grow when I had to change.
Did you find that once you started doing Game of Fire, and of course it's stunningly successful now in syndication and reruns and so on, but do people expect you to behave like Gomer, in fact?
Yeah, I was down, I tell this, you know, sometimes in my nightclub act. I was down in Dallas last summer, Texas, and we was working at the music hall there, and so I had to, one afternoon I went to the supermarket, you know, to pick up some things that I needed, and I wasn't dressed up or nothing. I just had on a pair of Levi's and a sweatshirt, and I was barefooted, so I was pushing my buggy along, you know how you do, and I wasn't watching where I was going, and I tipped over a crate of oranges, and so I was down on the floor picking them up, and I was putting them back in the crate, and I overheard these two ladies talking, and one of them said to the other, and she said, "That's Gomer Pyle." Said, "He really is like that." It's funny the kind of image you get, because another one that's very funny was we were up at Indianapolis, I think, and I was in a hotel lobby, and so a big old fella come up to me and grabbed me by the shoulders. He was real friendly, and but he's a big strapping kind of guy, and I can't use the words he used, but he came up and he grabbed me. He said, "Hey, boy," he said, "watch you every afternoon on television." He says, "Boy," said, "you're a stupid son of a gun."
He did, and he
What's worse, though, I found myself saying, "Thank you." It's true.
What else did you say?
Then there's always the lady that gets your name mixed up, and she came. One lady came. She goes, "Oh, this is Homer Piles." Makes it sound like an ad for Preparation H.
Exactly. Great line.